Up for you here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Ben Gideon in on the stop. And here are the offensive starters for Arizona.
And how about wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald? Back for his 15th NFL season. This is not a ceremonial appearance. He had 109 catches last season. He will help the new quarterback of the Cardinals become better right away.
Quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On play action, Rosen. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. Look at the spin. Dallas. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. They run again on 1st down. Cook stripped. The ball's out. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for. for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you give a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
The anchor of this secondary is Harrison Smith, who was oddly named an all-pro safety in 2017, but just a Pro Bowl alternate who later did play in the game and had a pick 6. Metrics, they graded him out as the game's top safety in 2017. I call him the fixer. Wherever they need him on defense, they place him. Near the line of scrimmage, back deep, he makes plays.
On 2nd down, Rosen. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And he's got Gresham. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd.
Here we go. Here we go now. 3-19.
From the gun, it's Rosen. He's got it. And caught it up. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Listen to me.
2nd down, Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's right. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He finds Malcolm Mitchell here. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Malcolm Mitchell, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Fine.
And it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
And that means cornerback Patrick Peterson, who has an effect on every game he plays, whether it's at the cornerback position or even as a punt returner. How about this? He's been in the Pro Bowl all 7 seasons that he's been in the NFL. This guy knows how to change a game, either with an interception or a return.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Flushed out right. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, but sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now Cousins. And that is incomplete. Malcolm Mitchell out of the University of Georgia was the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Hey, we're good. Hey, flipper. Hey, flipper. Quaker Omaha. Lynch 50. Watch out.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Cousins being chased out left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Marcus Golden in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. it's a really difficult task.
Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
There's the first NFL catch for the former Aggie Christian Kirk, and he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Fournette on the counter. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Lucky 56, set, blue 90, blue 90.
Rosen off the play action. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Here we go. Green.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when, and he told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And now it's Rosen looking. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Two minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's right. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A give. This is Cook. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go now. Blue line it.
Now Rosen looking to throw. And he finds his man. That's Butler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to walk one deep left side here, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away, and it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Encroachment.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5.
All right, here we go. 3:39.
They want to go to the air again with Rosen. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
All right, here we go.
Rosen to throw again. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Andy Lee now, as he's on to punt for Arizona. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. Yeah, they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Yeah, and relax and enjoy the second quarter lead right now. Play action now. Cousins out to it, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Throwing, Cousins. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Ryan Quigley now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he will be able to recover this himself to prevent a wacky ending here, but that will be how this first half comes to an end. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports half. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded at the 2. Oh, a heck of a move. Man. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Hey, we're good, we're good. Here we go.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Throw left side, complete. It's right. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw is Cousins. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A first down throw for Cousins. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining.
Check, block before. Yellow. Check.
They'll throw again. Cousins. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Cousins now. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 3rd down, Rosen. And he's got Gresham. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
All right, here we go.
Again, it's Fournette. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Off the play fake, here's Rosen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Murray. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And, Brandon, this is where it pays to have a big back that can take over a football game, especially in the fourth quarter.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
We're going. Let's go.
First down. Here's Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And Murray's still down. Maybe shaking up that go-around. Let's hope he's all right. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll get get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Benet Ben-Wickery on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Cousins to throw it. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Carlson able to put this one through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On second down, Rosen, right side, complete to Butler. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Open man, Butler complete. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now Rosen on first down. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw is Rosen. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again, it's Rosen. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. They had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
A run with Smallwood. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. On second down, Smallwood. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Tackle made by Antoine Bethea.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They give to Smallwood. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is. And what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for Minnesota, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Have an all-white rank. Couldn't hit if tied on. Lanes can't call and you lame.